Okay, I need y'all to understand that you are not experiencing real time in the 3D. You are experiencing the shadow of time. Come here. Now, let me put this good in your ear and blow your mind. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Ty. This is Lucid Luxury. This is our version of the kingdom of heaven where we remember who we are. We live in financial prosperity. We live in our wealth identity. I want you to remember that the kingdom of heaven is simply a state of mind, a state of being. And you have the luxury of experiencing that state here and now. So rest, relax, and receive as we remember together. And remember in the last video, if you haven't, go watch the last live, and I've said it in other videos, that the 3D is simply a reflection of your internal state. So what I mean by that is that the 3D is only a reflection, a shadow of time. Also remember that manifesting is simply a term that we created to describe how we get from point A to point B. So how we get the external to match our internal. That's literally what manifesting is. It's not some big magical thing. It's literally how we describe this interval of time, because our humanness likes to work on linear time. So we created this manifesting term to describe that linear time. Got it? Good. Now let's go even deeper. So for all of my gods and goddesses out there who loves my trippy videos, this is going to be one of those videos. So you're going to have to trust that your God self is receiving whatever it needs to receive here now in this moment. So I had to realize for me, when I create my videos, they're the Easter eggs. Remember, I talked about Easter eggs being the synchronicities. If you don't, go watch the Remembrance series. So my videos were Easter eggs from my future self speaking to my present self. Again, remember that the 3D is simply a shadow of your internal state. It's just a reflection of your internal state. So in order for my humanness to process the manifesting of everything, so how to get from point A to point B, I created these videos, which are the Easter eggs, to help me remember my already inner knowing. Again, I know it sounds trivial, I know it sounds paradoxical, but you have to trust that your God self, your God you, is receiving this information, because we're going to get even deeper and it's going to all click. So let's keep going. So think of me rewatching my own videos as my player giving my sim instructions on how to live life. You can even think of this because we're all connected. Whoever I am, you are too. You literally created me. So think of me as a creation that your player made to give your sim, you watching this video in this present moment, instructions on how to live your life. I know it sounds trippy. I like to think of it as the Truman Show. So you, the player, is watching the Truman Show all play out. You already know how it ends, but you get the luxury of experiencing it as the character Truman, and the luxury of knowing how it all plays out because you left yourself these Easter eggs, you left yourself these instructions. Got it? Good. And we're going to keep going. So again, let's go back to the 3D being a shadow of time. I want you to think of the 3D as a lag, as a delay in what you internally already created. This is why creation is finished, and we say the 3D is simply a mirror of your internal state, because it's a shadow of time. It's the manifesting, the process of getting from point A to point B. And the process we describe, we call it manifesting. It's that simple. So just think of it like that. Like creation is finished. The 3D is simply a shadow of time, of creation being finished, of what I'm already living internally. And the process, the manifesting of it all, is a time for our humanness to describe how we get from point A to point B. Got it? Good. Let's keep going. Okay, so don't think of time being linear. Real time is not linear. The 3D is not real time. The real time is what's happening internally. The 3D is experience a delay in that time. It's not real because you know that creation is finished. You know that you're living in the end of creation. You know you've made these shifts already. You've been living this reality out on the quantum internally. And now the 3D is simply playing catch up. So it's not real time. Your God self knows that you do not operate on linear time. You operate on soul time, quantum time, meaning internally. The only real reality that exists is the internal state. Your only job in the 3D is to experience it. Your avatar, your sim, tends to look at your perceiving time as linear, but your God, you knows and remembers that time is not linear. Every moment is a stand-alone moment. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so we talked about the 3D being a shadow of time. What I want you to do now that you get the foundation of it all, you understand the foundation of it all. I want you to understand that the 3D is not the cause. The 3D is simply the effect of the internal state. So what I mean by that, stop trying to change a shadow. It's like you're trying to change the shadow, but what you're realizing is the shadow is not going to change unless the object changes, unless you change, unless your beingness change. So you're kind of living in the 3D in the upside down. You're looking at the 3D like, oh, I need to change all of these things in order for me to change, when really you need to change you, the object, the actual cause, in order for the 3D to change. That's the whole point of the video. Let's keep going because it gets even deeper. You can think of the 3D like deja vu. Literally what the 3D is. It's like deja vu. You have these moments where things feel familiar or like you already did it because, again, the 3D is the effect. You did already do it internally. The 3D is simply now the effect of that cause. Okay, so your beingness, who you're being right now, is your cause. So what I want you to do is stop walking up to the mirror and expecting that reflection to change. You have to change who you're being before you walk up to the mirror, because the mirror is going to simply reflect who you are being. It's not the other way around. Remember, we talked about the 3D being a not so fun funhouse, and we're going to get even deeper. So when you're saying, oh, once the 3D changes, I'll be wealthy, I'll be happy. Oh, once this last thing happened, I'll be happy. You are doing it backwards, my love. You need to already be happy and allow the 3D to match that energy. It's like you're walking up to the mirror expecting your reflection to smile. You're going to be waiting forever, sweetheart. You have to smile first, and then your mirror reflection will smile. Got it? Good. So it's time to start actually having fun in the not so fun fun house. Let's make the not so fun fun house fun. So think of the 3D simply like this: player, sim, object, shadow, you, reflection, internal state, 3D world, beingness, experience, cause, effect. That is how the order of this 3D realm really works. That's the order of how you're going to truly shift your reality. So if you're waiting for the effect to have the cause, you're going to be waiting forever, because it's not effect then cause. It's you are the cause and the 3D is the effect. Got it? Good. I'm so glad you're getting it and you're rocking with me. So when you think of it this way, when you think of it as player, sim, object, shadow, you, reflection, internal state, 3D world, beingness, experience, cause, effect. You tend to flip the 3D upside down. You flip it right side up. You begin to experience the world instead of backwards, instead of the upside down, which is thinking that 3D is the source of all of it. You realize that you flipped it right side up and you're the source of all of this. It's not I experience, therefore I am. It's I am, therefore I experience. I am rich, therefore I experience richness. It's not richness happens, therefore I am rich. You got it? Good. I'm so glad you're rocking with me. Remember, your avatar, the sim, is simply a reflection of who you are being. It's simply a reflection of the player. Imagine the sim running around thinking it has to do all of these things so that the player feels different. Imagine someone playing the Sims and saying, why don't I feel different? Because my sim is doing all of these things. Because you're doing it backwards. You are controlling the game, goddess. I giggle a little bit now because it's actually kind of comical to think that you, the sim, is trying to change the player. That is backwards as fuck. Like, no, you, the player, change the sim, meaning you make those internal shifts first and tell the sim how to play the game. You got it? Yes. And now that you're here, you can remember that and stop looking at your circumstances, your experiences in the 3D as the cause. It is simply the effect of who you're being, of the player. You get to change the experience that your sim is having by changing you before you walk up to the mirror. Stop walking up to the mirror and expecting things to change. No, that's not how it works. That is backwards. But now you have the luxury of experiencing the not so fun house fun because you flipped it. You understand it now. You understand that your beingness is creating your experience. Yes. I'm so glad you're here. You being here now as the player, coming from the awareness that you are the player, you get the luxury of experiencing your own creation inside the game. This is why the not so fun house becomes fun, because you get the luxury of remembering that you created this entire experience. The whole paradoxical thing of it all is that you're the cause and the effect. Literally, you're the cause and the effect. You are the cause getting to experience the effect from the awareness that you are the cause. You are the player that gets to experience the game as the sim with the awareness that you are also the player. It is so trippy. I told y'all that. But when you wake up and remember and start playing the game from this level of awareness, I'm telling you, the not so fun house becomes fun. This whole illusion of mirrors within the 3D dissolves. The veil falls away and you begin to see the 3D for what it is. It is simply a shadow of time. It is simply a reflection of your internal state. Who are you being? Again, stop coming up to circumstances in the 3D thinking that it's going to change how you feel. Stop waiting. Oh, once my bank account increases, then I'll be rich. Once I am loved, then I'll be loved. That's as backwards as fuck. No, you are loved. You are already rich. And the 3D is a shadow of that time. Allow the manifestation process to happen, meaning getting from point A to point B in linear time. That is literally all this entire experience is. But you're coming from it from a different level of awareness now. And I'm so proud of you, God and goddesses. Coming from this level of awareness, you stop giving effect authority over the cause. What I mean by that, you stop allowing the 3D to have authority over how you are feeling, who you are being, how you are showing up. You stop doing that when you come from the awareness that the 3D is a shadow of time. The 3D is a reflection of who you are being. And you here now have the luxury of experiencing the 3D as the creator, the player, in the luxury of experiencing this whole 3D as the sim. You get to be lucid inside the dream. You're not trying to wake up and leave the dream. You are lucid inside the dream, meaning you are enjoying life within this entire simulation. That is the point of being God. That is how God gets to experience God in form. It has the luxury of knowing yourself as God while also having the luxury of experiencing life as you, the avatar watching this video. So stop giving authority over the 3D and call your power back, and only keep that authority within yourself. You command your 3D based on your internal state of being, based on your internal action, based on who you know yourself to be. The 3D does not get to tell you that unless you say so. So remember, start playing the game from this level of awareness, that this is simply a shadow of time. Remember, it's player, sim, object, shadow, you, reflection, internal state, 3D world, beingness, who are you being, experiences, cause and effect. It is simply, it's like basic quantum physics at this point. And as you come from different levels of awareness, as you wake up and remember who you are, it becomes so much more simpler. So again, this may feel trivial to you, but you have to trust that your God self has received the information. Run it back. Comment I remember to wake up to your remembrance and accept that you are creating this entire experience, and the 3D is simply catching up. Manifesting is simply describing the process for 3D to catch up to who you know yourself to be. So show up as that person who you know yourself to be every single moment of every single day. Make your unconscious thoughts conscious. Be consciously aware of what you're thinking, what you're doing, who you're around, how you're showing up. Become very aware, because again, the 3D is simply a mirror of who you're being. And if you're being someone you do not want to experience, the 3D is going to show up as that version of you every single time. It's time for you to do that internal shift to experience your desired reality. And remember, we do not entertain what we do not want to experience. So stop doing that. Stop telling the 3D, stop giving the 3D authority over how you decide to show up. And as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh. Bye.